Today on Upfront, Libertarian candidate for president Gary Johnson. With two historically unpopular major party candidates, does Johnson think he has a shot at this race? My conversation with Gary Johnson is next on Upfront. Plus, the Iraq War veteran making his first run for Congress. And disturbing reports about care at the Wisconsin Home for Veterans, what state officials are doing about it.
Covering the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with Mike Goucher.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Upfront. Is this the year for a third-party presidential candidate? We begin today with the Libertarian nominee, former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson. Johnson campaigned in Milwaukee on Thursday night, drawing more than 1,000 people to Serb Hall. He's also running radio ads in the state. Johnson is currently at 11% in the latest Marquette University Law School poll. That's among registered voters. And in an interview late last week, I asked him about his potential impact on the race for president.
We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't think we might actually win the race.
You're serious about that. You said at your rally the other night, it's a crazy election year, crazy enough that I'm going to be elected president. You think that could happen?
Well, I do, and it's because Trump and Clinton are so polarizing, and as a third choice, two former Republican governors that served 2 terms each in heavily Democrat states by being fiscally conservative, socially inclusive. What's that animal look like? Well, that animal is something that I think has great appeal right now in this country.
You need 15% in the major national polls to get into the debates. Are you running out of time on that goal?
Well, the clock keeps ticking, and the polls are ratcheting up, and we just 1 week ago started spending money. Wisconsin being one of those states where we're spending money to actually advertise. So maybe not. I mean, it's close.
It's close. And right now, your numbers tell you what, about 8 to 10% is where you are in the polls right now?
Actually, the 5 polls that the Presidential Debate Commission has identified were right at 10.
So for people who are still thinking about where they want to land in this presidential election, for people who say, I cannot vote for Donald Trump, but I still think I'm a Republican, what do you offer them?
Well, honesty, telling the truth, keeping your word. I think the unforgivable in life is hypocrisy. Saying one thing and doing another. Bill Weld and myself are not hypocrites. We did make a difference in our states, and that we align philosophically with most Americans. Speaking broadly, that's being fiscally conservative, small government, lower taxes. That's being socially inclusive, always coming down on the side of you and I being able to make choices in our own lives, always, as long as those choices don't put others in harm's way. And I think that the majority of Americans are skeptical that when it comes to our military interventions, that the world is any more safe as a result of those interventions. We're the only candidates that do believe in free trade, believing that it will result in more U.S. jobs, not less U.S. jobs, and that we do have some issues globally, but we need to join diplomatically, specifically with Russia to deal with Syria. Specifically, we need to join hands with China to deal with North Korea.
I want to pick up on some of those points. Let's talk about trade for a moment, because you're in a state where there are people in Wisconsin who believe that free trade has not been a good thing for the Wisconsin worker, that the Wisconsin worker has suffered, that manufacturing jobs have moved out of this country. How do you sell what you're talking about to a fair number of people who are very skeptical of free trade agreements?
Well, what you just pointed out is most of America right now that associates crony capitalism, which is bad, government interference, government picking winners and losers, and equating crony capitalism and free trade as one and the same, when in fact they're opposites. And that's an education, really, that needs to take place. Free trade, devoid of government influence, devoid of government picking winners and losers, and that really the aversion that we have to these trade agreements is that they are laced with favoritism. that individuals, groups have paid for that favoritism, giving them more influence and more money as opposed to equal opportunity.
Immigration, I think I saw you and Governor Weld at a forum where you said we're about as pro-immigration as you can get. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. The Wharton School of Business 3 weeks ago, they came out with an analysis of immigration. Restricting immigration would have a negative impact on the economy. Allowing for high-skilled workers to come into this country would have a small positive impact on our company, but increasing immigration would actually have a very positive impact on our economy. So I think that we should embrace immigration in this country. We are a country of immigrants. We should make it as easy as possible for somebody that wants to come into this country and work to be able to get a work visa. And a work visa should entail a background check and a Social Security card that applicable taxes get paid. 11 million undocumented workers in this country, great misunderstanding on why that exists in the first place. It exists because the government has made it impossible to come into this country and work, to take jobs that U.S. citizens don't want. And because of that, if you or I were in the same situation, we would be doing the same thing to benefit our families. And workers coming across the border from Mexico, cream of the crop when it comes to workers, hard-working individuals, and that undocumented workers go back 20, 30 years in this country. And if we were to deport 11 million undocumented workers, it would be an economic catastrophe. Building a wall across the border is crazy, and I'm speaking as a border governor.
You can see my entire interview with Libertarian presidential candidate Gary Johnson on our website. And I'll also be asking him about his views on marijuana use and legalization. You'll find it in the Upfront section of WISN.com. Later in our program, troubling allegations about care at the state veterans home at King. But first, a top congressional race right here in Wisconsin. 8th District Republican candidate Mike Gallagher on fighting ISIS and securing the border. That's when Upfront continues.
Up Front with Mike Goucher, brought to you by the American Transmission Company and the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association.